From this to this, how did we do it? My rosemary is blooming again. My name is Marlene. Welcome back, friends, and welcome to all my first-time viewers. So today, we're going to take a look at how you can have a rosemary as big as this, starting from this, just like I did. We'll also take a look at some uses of this wonderful plant. Let's go ahead and get started. So we're also going to take a look at diseases that we encountered, repotting, and things to avoid to have great success. Also, be sure to stick to the end because we'll go over the uses and some of them really will surprise you. So this is typically how we get them from the garden center. You can start from seeds if you like, but it's so much easier just to get these, and they don't really cost a lot. Of course, the smaller they are, then it's going to cost you less, but it'll take a longer time to get there. So if you want to move a little faster, you can get something that's larger, but the main thing is to get started. So this is where I started with mine, and we did get 3 different herbs together. And just to show you what the potting soil looked like, it was light and fluffy, which is what we want. And we did put it in a wash pan, an old wash pan that we had, because it had a large, like a large opening at the seam. So we figured it would have really good drainage in there, which is what this plant needs, a lot of that. Another good option is terracotta pots, because our terracotta pots, because they do breathe better, so it's a good one to have. But if you only can get plastic containers, and that's our ceramic, then that's fine too. Just some choices that you can make there. This soil is the one that was available, because this was like 5 years ago, so that's what we had. Probably not so much anymore, but just get some good potting soil, and you can add sand in just a little bit to make it more drainable, they say. But be sure not to use the ones from the ocean, because the salt in there will cause your plant to die. And of course, I got my mulch, because I put mulch on almost everything when I plant them, because it is just so useful, to our plants. And so these are the thyme, mint, and the rosemary that we're going to be planting today. We'll talk about that decision in terms of doing it that way in just a few seconds. So because the rosemary grows a lot faster, I decided to put it to the back of the container, so it would be able to spread out and do what it wanted to do there. So I'm just easing it out here and putting it in. Now what I will say is that because this plant grows really fast, you really have to be careful what you're going to plant it with if you decide to plant it with anything else, because the thyme that I got there, the thyme doesn't need a lot of water. As this rosemary, they don't need a lot of water. But the thyme is smaller, it doesn't grow as fast. And so, it can get overcrowded. So I'd say choose very carefully if you're going to be putting something with it. Now, the opposite end of the spectrum is that the other plant that I'm putting in here, that would be the mint. Mint prefers water, not waterlogged, but a reasonable amount of water. So putting them together like this is not the best choice. So I would say, just put your rosemary by itself if you can. So it can spread out as it wants, so it can have its own watering needs met. And, that might be the best option for you. So I'm just, being transparent with you so you can make a really good decision when you are going to do yours. But you'll see that, everything turned out really well for the rosemary in this situation. So the mulch that I used was cypress mulch. You can use whichever one you like. Lighter one, I think, might be better in this case. And then I just went ahead and watered them. And I did put the thickness of the mulch about, I think it's maybe about 1.5 inches of thickness. And it helps to keep them, like warm in the winter and cool in the summer. And of course, it keeps weeds away. Now, as far as feeding them goes, I just basically used 2 tablespoons of Epsom salt to 2 gallons of water. The magnesium that's in the Epsom salt is excellent for the leaves, because it's really about leaves for your herbs. We don't really grow these types of flowers. We want to have just the leaves. And so that was very, very useful. You will see that I did have some fish fertilizer nearby, and I just used it once. I have not used it again on this plant because it really does not like to have a lot of nutrients in the soil. It actually doesn't do very well when that happens, like a lot of fertilizer and all of that. It's a rough and tumble plant, so the less you give it, then the happier it will be. Not in sand or something without any nutrients, of course. And this is what they look like together, for after about 4 or 5 weeks, but that was not to last for too long. This is what happened eventually, guys. Eventually, they both, did not make it. And you can see the rosemary has spread all out over the container. The gap where they were is still in there, but this plant is now by itself and it's gotten so much larger and it looks so healthy. But then after, a little time passed, the pot got a little bit older, so we said we have to change it. So we got this one here. So we weren't able to get another metal container like that. So we decided to use this one that looks like a whiskey barrel, but it's actually made of kind of like a plastic, a very thick one. So in this case, it was very important that we put some very large holes in the bottom because, it doesn't breathe as well. And so it really needs to drain from the bottom. So we made sure to get something that we were able to do that to it, so it would not be an issue for us. So my husband got the drill and just went in and put the holes in there. And I think he did a really good job. And we're going to go ahead and put it in the container here. So we did put our soil in there. And the potting soil that we used, it already had enough, nutrients in there. So I did not put anything like any slow release fertilizer or anything like that because it really did not need it. And right here, guys, this was such a struggle for me because apparently it had gotten really root bound in the pot and I wasn't aware. It was like a little more sluggish in its growth, but I figured it's time to repot, but I really needed to do it because I had to get my husband to get the shovel and go in and take it out. And even that, guys, it took some doing. I'm just like, my gosh, this thing is a monster. So eventually he got it out. You can see there's a lot going on down there. So I actually had to go in and take off a third of the roots under there, one, so it would fit in the container, and two, so that it would actually, make the plant less root bound and they can grow out again and come into themselves. So we put it in and it looks so much better already. I really like how it looked and I know the plant was very happy. So went in and watered it. And just to get it established again from the repotting process, I watered it like every other day. But once like a week and a half or so had passed, I went back to like twice per week and then to once per week because it really doesn't need a lot of water. And then it flowered for us, which it does quite often. So maybe I'd say like usually around in the month of late February, it will bloom. And guys, when the hummingbirds come out in the summertime, they love it. Well, I should say in the late spring, they love it, when it comes out then. So beautiful. So you can see how they look. What I will say though, as for this plant, we only encountered one issue as far as any health issues for this plant was concerned, and that was, it could have been either some fungal or bacterial blight on there. So you can see how it was looking right there. This happens quite often if the plant, like the branches are kind of like interlocking or too close together, enough air isn't passing through, so it's not breathing very well. So the main thing to do is just to go in and take out the part that is damaged. And this plant has tough woody tissue, I will say that. So for this plant, you'll want to be sure you have a nice, sharp, clean pair of pruners to go in and give it a nice clean cut, because if it's ripped or if it's jagged, then it's more susceptible to diseases. There's also something that's called botrytis, but we never had any problems with that. And also it's good to make sure that you don't have root rot, because this leads to other diseases. When your plant is stressed, it's more likely to get, diseases like that. So be sure to, clean up your pruners when you're done. And I'll link in the description box if you wanted to get one like this. And I just wanted to take a moment to invite you to subscribe to our channel if you have never done so before. My husband and I, we do lots of gardening topics. We go over tips, we go over DIYs, we show you what's at the garden centers. And, if you haven't heard from us in a while, be sure to stop by. But if you do hit the notification bell twice, it does help a lot to get you notified when we put a new video out. And we certainly look forward to your comments and your questions as well. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already, if these topics interest you. Now let's take a look at the uses. So the first one is that this plant is a great companion plant. And the reason for that is because it has a strong smell, so it keeps the bad bugs away, which is what we want. So they're not going to damage your plants. Speaking of bugs, it is very good to repel mosquitoes, and I've personally done this myself. I rub it along, like if I'm going to do some gardening around the backyard, I'll go in and I'll rub it along on my arms, on the back of my neck, anywhere that's exposed except my face, and it does keep them away. It really works for me. Another use for them is that they're quite often trimmed back, like as little topiaries in the holiday season. You'll see them, in your garden center. And I think they're so cute. And of course, you can have them grow out if you don't want them to retain the shape, and they smell really, really nice. So that's quite a, double duty right there for them. It's also good for your hair, like when you wash your hair, at the end of all that, you just go in and make a rinse with it. You boil it and then you just pour the water over your hair and just leave it in. And it's really good for the health of your hair. And of course, it makes it smell really nice too. It's also good to make a tea. And again, this is just, your preference, of course. Something about that size. You boil it though because it can be a little tough. So just steeping it might not be enough to pull out the oils that you want. It's great for garnishing your food too, or some people cook it with lamb, but it's just very easy. A quick grab and you can decorate, your platter, especially during the holiday season, and it works out so well. So this is where I started out, the first year, 5 years after, this is what it's looking like. So I'm really, really pleased with this plant, and I hope that this has inspired you to try to grow one yourself, because a tip I'll give you though is that even though they say to put it in full sun, I have found that part sun works perfectly well for my rosemary because I've never had it in full sun. And look at it, guys, it's awesome. What I'll say, it's better for your plant to get to drain properly than so much so for it to be in full sun. If it's in full sun and it's wet all the time, then that is very bad for the plant. Or if you're overfeeding it, too much fertilizer, same story again. So I'd say those are little tips for you, and I really hope that it helps. So I hope this will have you consider getting a rosemary if you haven't already. I want to say thanks so much to my channel members and those of you that share out my videos. It really helps my channel to grow. And if you've never been here before, I hope that you will consider subscribing so you can follow along with more topics like this from us. Thank you all so much for watching, and I do hope to see you in the next one. Happy gardening. Take care.